Today we're doing a book out of the Madrusan Cocktail Companion. This book that I just received in the mail as like a pre-copy is one of my absolute obsession. So Michael Madrusan is a bar owner and bartender that lives in Australia. He was one of the bartenders that created some modern classics and also were very celebrated at Milk and Honey, and also owned the very iconic Melbourne, Australia bar Everleigh. So this book has 2,800 recipes in it. The idea from this book came from just the tome that they had behind the bar at one of Madrusan's bars. And then they basically were like, we need to publish this. And so it's basically every single cocktail worth making, modern, classic, and classic. And usually these books, as I say, like usually these books are like, they say, oh, 2,800 recipes, 5,000 recipes, and then there's like a handful of good ones. Every single cocktail in here has been culled from just like years and years and years behind the bar. Every single one of them is amazing. I kind of want to bartend my way through the entire book. Today we're going to be making an old-fashioned variation that comes from the Jones Complete Cocktail Guide yet again, but I pulled it from this book. And Marius, you are going to like this, okay? You are really going to like this. It is called, today's Educated Barfly video is sponsored by the Educated Barfly. I don't know if you guys know this, some of you do, some of you don't, but we've got lots of really good products in our store and we are constantly adding to those products. One of our very new additions, freeze-dried garnishes. So whereas a dehydrated garnish gives you sort of like a more tea-like caramelized scent, the freeze-dried version of that is a little bit brighter, and then all the sugars when you freeze dry it come to the surface, and so you get a very bright, fresh orange flavor. These guys have been a real big hit since we put them in the store. We get lots of orders for them. We also have a little bit of glassware. We have our now kind of iconic Nick and Nora style glass that we did in a regular and honeycomb pattern. This is a 6-ounce glass, kind of Nick and Nora style. And we have a brand new, more coupe style glass. It's 7 ounces. We also have the honeycomb pattern in this as well. So if you're a fan of the channel and you want to help us out, this is a very good way to help the channel and then also get something out of it. A lot of this is the glassware that you see in our videos, and so you'll be able to recreate the same cocktails that we make in the studio at home with the best possible recipes, the best possible instructions, and now the best possible glassware and garnishes. Now here's the thing, right? John McClane is Bruce Willis's character from Die Hard, famously, right? But 1977, the Jones Cocktail Guide from 1977, Scotch old-fashioned variation called a John McClane. It is an old Scotch old-fashioned. Could you think of anything else that John McClane from Die Hard would be drinking but a Scotch old-fashioned? It's like the perfect drink to be called a John McClane. I don't know where my little pincer things is, so I'm just gonna do this with my hands. We are really in need of sugar cubes. So we're gonna do 1 sugar cube here. And you know, I honestly should turn this into an old-fashioned master class, okay? So this is what we do when we build an old-fashioned. We put a sugar cube in the bottom of the glass. It's actually been a while since I've had an old-fashioned. I got these really nice new bitters dashers here. We're gonna do 8 dashes. And here's the thing, when you're dashing, first of all, this is a Japanese bitters dasher. Japanese bitters dashers dispense half the amount that you would get from an Angostura bottle. So if an Angostura bottle calls for 4 dashes, you do 8 dashes from that dasher, which is very precise and small dash. The other thing is that it's easy to tell if you've done too much bitters. When you look into the bottom of your old-fashioned glass, you see like a little ring around the side. It should have just like this barely visible like halo around it, and then you know that you haven't done too much. And the secret to the sauce here is just a little dash of soda. You know, this is gonna help the sugar dissolve, because alcohol doesn't dissolve sugar very well, or I guess sugar doesn't dissolve in alcohol very well. So having this little bit of soda in here will help it dissolve. We don't want to completely crush it into a paste. We want it to be a grainy paste. Like basically you want to take the sugar and kind of turn it into super fine sugar, but we kind of want that graininess in there. I do anyway. Then we're gonna do 2 ounces of Scotch. I like to use blended Scotch for this. Monkey Shoulder is a really nice choice. There are many other ones. I don't know, who makes a really good blended Scotch? What are they called? I've got to go to the Scotch shelf. I can jog my memory on this brand. Compass Box. Compass Box makes great blended Scotch as well. So then we're just gonna add 2 ounces here like so. Then we're gonna get a different spoon that is better for stirring. And we're going to place our tempered rock of ice slowly in there and give it a stir. Now what a lot of people ask me when they watch me make old fashions, why I lift the ice cube like so. And what that is basically doing is like whooshing the sugar underneath the cube to help it dissolve. I don't want it fully dissolved. I want that graininess in the glass. And you can basically stir till whenever you want. If you want it to be stiffer, you stir a little bit less. If you want it to be a little bit more diluted and, you know, make it a little smoother, you can just stir it a little bit longer. You just want to make sure that you chill it nicely, give it about an ounce of dilution. What's nice about doing a sugar cube as opposed to something like simple syrup is that simple syrup will give you a nice even old fashioned, whereas a sugar cube is going to dissolve over time, and then your cocktail will start a little bit stiffer and then devolve into a nice, you know, sweeter cocktail as you go. And then at the end, you get just a little pop of sugar at the very, very end, which helps you release dopamine into your brain. And then of course, that may lead you back to your old fashioned. So I like to garnish with both orange and lemon, although orange itself is the bourbon old fashions with orange and lemon. But for Scotch, I think we're just gonna do orange, and orange is the traditional garnish here. So we just spritz those oils on top like so. Let's give it a sip. Oh my God, it's so long since I've had an old fashioned, and it's just so good. You just get that little pop of sugar, you get the nice spice bitterness of the Angostura bitters, and then of course, you have all of the complexity of the Scotch. This particular Scotch has a lot of kind of dark fruit notes. You get those barrel notes. You don't get a ton of smoke, but there's a little bit of smoke in there. And it's just a really nice holiday, I guess, old fashioned. So there it is, the John McClane.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. This is John McClane.
I also heard this book was supposed to have 2,801 recipes.
It was supposed to have 2,801?
Yeah.
I mean, I got the press release right here, and it says...
Isn't it missing a recipe because somebody forgot to send it?
No, not a recipe. Oh, no. Oh, this is what you're talking about, yes. So I'm actually a little bit sad about this book just because, so I was approached by Michael Madrusan to give him a few recipes, just whatever recipes that I wanted to put in the book. And I was like, yes, I want to do that. And then I promptly forgot. And then he reminded me, and then I forgot again. And then I came back to I don't know how I just happened upon something in my inbox. And I looked at the email and I was like, oh no, I forgot. And so I emailed him to apologize. And he was like, you know, I don't know, life gets in the way, but I'm really sad because I had some good cocktails for it. So Michael, if you do a second edition, I will give you these recipes. Please put them in there, please. It's a great book. It's an amazing achievement. Click the link below if you want to buy it. I'm super stoked on it. So yeah, I don't know, go buy it. Go buy the book and buy our book while you're at it. Buy both books. My book's kind of not in this level. My book's kind of like, you know, a good primer for people. I didn't turn my ringer off, apparently.